Hey everyone, Suzi here, and today we're playing, or well, talking, all things Godforge. For today's video, we're going to go through beta. We had the update here confirming the dates for beta. We had a Q&A that actually answered a bit more details of why beta, and kind of some of the tougher questions regarding the technicalities of some of the big changes that are going on with Fateless and Godforge development. There were a little bit of, I guess, tidbits of special information in there too, but yeah, we are gonna go through and try to answer some of the big hot topic questions, like why beta instead of early access, when is beta, what's it gonna look like, are there wipes, what about the minigame rewards, do we know anything about the beta rewards themselves, and if there's any other key points that stand out that are probably a frequently asked question. So let's dive in. All right, so the first part of this is really why beta instead of early access. And I guess I'll do my best to TLDR that. But really, it's more so that the game obviously just needs a little more work. Testing improvements, we've found some big pain points. And they want the experience to be as good as possible for a good first impression. And also to take money from players on an account that is permanent. Like, that decision can't be made lightly. And if people are spending real money for their real accounts, the product needs to be good and it needs to be ready. And that alone is a huge factor. Like, of course, we want to make big profits with Fateless as soon as possible. Why wouldn't we? But we, as the player, I am both. Yes, I am both. I am both a player, a passionate community member, and I am staff. And I would still be either way, even if I wasn't. But we want to feel comfortable spending money on a game, right? Like, you don't want there to be so much questioning happening. You don't want there to be instability. And you don't want to sit there and wonder, is this good enough? Do I even like it? Like, what if the game feels a little rough? There's lots of janky things going on. You might not want to spend your money because you're not sure if you're even going to keep playing. But what if it was polished and it was better, and all of a sudden you're like, God damn, okay, I love this. This looks so much better now. I wish I spent money the early stages of my account to progress faster and to get a good head start. Like, you want people to start off with a good confidence from the beginning. I think that's really important. But also, yeah, of course, with the how it's good is it, is also the stability. The game was really unstable. As staff, I was able to play a bit myself, and I can. And we were kind of testing things casually, not formally, honestly. And I had a lot of trouble leveling up gear, moving gear around. Selling gear was a very messy part. Or doing too many summons. Like, things would just get throttled. And he did talk about that in the video with Yuho as well. So that was just a really big factor too, that the back end got shifted to meta play, and it's going to make the game more stable going forward. But there's a lot of changes that come along with that, and it's worth it for the long run of the game, but it's not the fun, exciting news that people want to hear. Also, they did secure some more investment. So there's no longer the stress that if Fateless doesn't launch a paid product at a certain time, they're going to run out of money. That's not a concern. We are lucky enough to have amazing investors and working with some pretty substantial people. People really have strong faith in the product, which has been really amazing to see. One of my, I guess, insider feelings as staff that you guys don't get to see is the weekly meetings. And there was just one weekly meeting where one of our leads was just pretty much saying how impressed he is and how honored he is to be a part of what we're doing. And what we're doing is so special and so unique. And every time he talks to people in the industry, they just praise it. And he just knows it's going to be great. And he's so happy to work with such an amazing team and all these like just sweetest sentimental things ever that just make me want to cry talking about it. And that's the passion and love that is going into this game and the people behind it. So beta before early access, we want that to come forward with, you know, how the community feels as well. A strong first impression matters. We want the new user experience to be strong. So it was kind of weak on the narrative, which I know doesn't mean a lot to some people, but I think it will to more than you think. I think we're going to convert a lot of people that are normally story skippers to be curious. And I don't think it's going to take away from the experience. Like some games are so story heavy, you can't physically play them without the story. But I feel like it's sprinkled in enough that makes you curious and want to follow along, but not overwhelm you with 10 minutes of dialogue straight where you're just dying to do the next thing. So I think the balance is really nice, and they're really ramping up some of the experiences that are going to be so good. Some of them I don't know that they're like the adventure mode for campaign is just going to be battles. But really, come early access, it's going to be a lot more. And it's really freaking cool what they're working on. I guess, yeah, beta's happening. Let's just summarize that with beta's happening because Fateless wants more time to improve the game before asking players to spend money on it. So that's kind of the big summary to get us started. So, okay, the big obvious, when is a beta and what are the details for dates? So signups are till May 14th. The gameplay is expected to start on May 19th. So this is intended to be a closed beta, meaning you have to sign up by May 14th. This is really smart, I think, for Fateless to do, for us to do at Fateless, because it gives that guaranteed time frame to get the accounts whitelisted. There shouldn't be issues if Test Flight is being a jerk. You know how Apple can be, guys. Kidding, not kidding. Those Test Flight approvals can be slow. I don't know if we have to wait till last minute to do it, though. Maybe if not, then people get the emails and they're playing before they're ready, and that's not good either. But, you know, Test Flight can be a little silly, so that's maybe be part of this decision as well. But it takes away from a lot of the legwork and the stress of how do I play. It's you sign up, you'll get clear instructions how to play. If you didn't make it, we'll see you in early access. However, we do know that's not Fateless style, let's be honest. Fateless style tends to be like, fuck it, it's fine, let's all play. We are a community company, everyone's just gonna be able to play. It's fine. Kidding, not kidding, that's what Alpha turned into, so I wouldn't be surprised if the closed beta turned into an open beta too. But I kind of hope for my sake on the community team, aka impromptu customer service, that maybe we keep it simple and just focus on the feedback and the playing, and will be driving excitement for the future of early access and getting signups there either way. So in the beta, you could see here, there's going to be story mode, campaign, adventure, ascension dungeons, weapon dungeons, and equipment dungeons. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, though. But we're pretty confident on these dates. The joke is 92.67% confidence. It's the target date, so it's technically still subject to change, but it's pretty likely that, and that is what the goals internally are. So yeah, what will the beta be like? This is the question here. You see the start of things is just that, right? But Simon did go into a little bit more. So, okay, of course we're going to have summoning now. The actual summoning system is set, so there'll be a lot of things to do that feel normal, like the early progression, basic tutorials, you know, of the start of the game. And the feel of the first parts of the story will be centered, which are based around Avalon. But this first wave of beta is not going to include PvP Tower and some of the other systems like Pantheons that were intended, but there is a possibility of more. So in the other video with Yuho, aka Crouching Grandpa from Discord, our QA lead, he he is really helpful at answering. It was really helpful at answering the questions in this video on a more technical standpoint. But Simon dropped in a few teasers, and when they were talking about beta stuff, they teased that there might be a second wave as well. But overall, the beginning of beta is going to be intended where they want feedback, we want feedback on the combat feel, the UI UX, the summoning experience. How does the early game flow? How does, progression feel? The tutorials, are they good enough? At least for the beginning part. There's not a lot of complicated tutorials in the game. They're pretty simple. They don't force you to do a lot of stuff. You kind of got to explore a little on your own, which is probably a good thing, let's be honest. And then, yeah, the narrative, how does that feel? The pace, and then quality and polish, of course, too. Do you like what you see? Do you like the graphics? Do you like how things feel? That's an important part as well. So what Simon teased in this video is that they're thinking about turning on some different elements to focus on as we progress. So not everything might be available all at once. Certain features will become available maybe like the first week or second week, third week, whatever it may be week-wise, if it's approximately 3 weeks of progression, which was quoted here as a guess in the first wave. And then the second wave, there's a possibility of that being discussed. So there'll be a first. I think the intention is, and this could totally change, and he did just barely tease it in this video. It wasn't necessarily confirmed, but it be a first blast around 3 weeks, and then refine things, and then go in again for another 3 weeks. And that the second phase would be focusing on a little bit more complicated stuff, like adding in the PvP and maybe pantheons, if it's possible to add those in as well. So it kind of just depends. I think maybe tower. I think PvP, tower, and pantheons, some or all of those are potential for the second wave, but definitely not the first wave. So I'm hoping that it might make sense in this case. Let me know what you guys think. If we're going to have beta be one wave of 3 weeks, we'll just say 3 weeks for now is the approximate guess, then there should be no wipe, and then we roll into the next 3 weeks. Oh no, there should be a wipe actually, because you should feel how soon do you enter the Pantheon. How does it feel to fight the Pantheon at the very first moment, the Pantheon boss, Kronos, at the very first moments of going in? How does that feel? That's something that we kind of need to judge as well, right? Arena, when you first unlock Arena and you go in, what's that initial experience like? Not you've had an account for 3 weeks and you're super OP and you go in and just blast everything. And so actually, I do think, the more I think about it, at first I was like, it wouldn't make sense to wipe accounts because you want to go into harder content with your accounts already ready, because the tower, you have to unlock it at a certain point. So if they add the tower in the second wave, you've got to get there first. But maybe that's part of the question. The goal is how does it feel getting to the tower at that point? Do you feel ready? Is the balance good? So when you unlock the tower, you could at least do a little bit. Does it feel like it takes too long to open the tower? Too quick to open the tower and you're not really ready? What does that feel like? So I guess the second wave would have to be a reset as well. But yeah, overall, that is one of the big questions is, will things wipe? Yes, beta will be wiped. So any playtime will be wiped. And it is not your permanent account. So they did not confirm again if there are 2 waves of beta, are you going to wipe for both? I'm guessing so, like alpha, and the logic I just thought through would make sense. But the whole point is it's all for feedback and testing, and it's not like you have to play both waves or you have to go crazy both waves. It's whatever the hell you want to do to help the game to be better, submit feedback, and give us data for playing. It's a true test phase at the end of the day to make the best early access part, I guess, or phase possible. All right, and I guess another topic we'd have to talk about would be rewards. What are the rewards for beta? Are there going to be rewards? So I have answers and ideas and thoughts that are internal from our meetings that I want to try not to jumble into what is known publicly. So I apologize if anything is confusing. And I also apologize that if I can't say too much, I don't want to spoil things too. And I don't want to promise something that's not confirmed yet either. But like Simon has said, or there's going to be some cosmetic rewards. Like that's probably a guarantee, let's be honest. That's the cool point. Like we've already done a bunch of portraits, so more than likely there could be, like what else? We have frames. We have those like on your profile, I don't know what they call them, name cards, profile cards, something. Like there's like a special bar at the top that looks different colors. You could see that whenever he goes to the profile setting during one of the videos or live stream. So that's possible. And then, of course, yeah, more portraits are possible. But there's also more than that, I know, possible, so to speak. But I know we don't want to give out too much as far as like heroes, massive rewards, because we've already given out a lot. And if we give out too much to everyone that's played all the testing phases, it's going to feel even more of a huge gap for people that come in with early access or with global launch advertising to be even more frustrated or feeling like, but all these people have so much. Like there has to be a balance there with saying thank you to people playing versus just giving everybody a massive jumpstart of their accounts as well. Yeah, there will be rewards. There might be some actual in-game resource type stuff too, but it's not confirmed anything specific, or it wouldn't be overly obnoxious. And we'll try our best to make sure new players can have some fun getting free stuff too if they did not participate in things like the minigame. So I guess that begs the question of, will your minigame rewards come to beta or not till early access? Simon did answer that question as well. And it's not likely that they will come to beta, although he said he's asked the question to the team if they can. But you know, there's also the reality of, do we want that? Like, was Fateless want to have genuine feedback from the start of a game with no extra boost? Or do you want to have the start of the game with the boost? Like, that's debatable, because you could say, well, if these are what people earn, that's what they're really going to play with. So let's see how they feel really playing with them. Or you could say we want to judge it from a brand new person coming in that's never seen the game before. So there's two ways to look at it. And it's definitely could go either way, I think. So again, a reminder that don't forget that your minigame rewards, you will get them regardless. Even if they do come to the beta playtest, you will still get them permanently for early access. Nobody's taking them away with the wipe after the testing phases, no matter if we do or don't worry. And that's the big question otherwise, I think that kept coming up. I guess we kind of answered was how long will beta last? And it seems like maybe about 3-week periods, for 3 weeks for a first wave, and then a possible second wave after, if that all goes as planned. But how long after the beta before early access, that is definitely not anything even remotely ready to discuss, because there's going to be a lot of factors there. Will they have internal goals? Of course. But a lot of those goals are going to depend on which we as players, and us as the community, you and me, what we all find, right? Like, how does beta go? Was there some huge issue that was not anticipated once we got thousands of people playing? Very possible and very likely, let's be honest. So I don't think they're going to commit to any early access date until after the betas are over, just to be safe. But Simon has roughly guessed Q4, which, what is that? October, November, December? Is like something like that. But yeah. If there's any other questions that I might be able to answer, feel free to ask in the comments, guys. I'm happy to try to answer as both Suzi plays the content creator and both as Suzi, the community manager for Fateless. Overall, and I guess we could ask PC, Mac, iOS, Android. It should be, yes, it'll be all the things. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting something, but I feel like that's the majority of the things we'd want to talk about. I guess I could do a quick shout out there, like in that video with Yuho here, I put a little reminder here. So this video was fantastic for Dan Fiction, of one of the founders, talking about the game and his experience, how he met Simon, the Hell Hades days, how he got involved with everything. And then toward the end, which I think there are chapters in Charlemagne's video, but he also talks about the content creator program, which was really cool to see the love and passion there. And that is something I should mention too. If you're a content creator or you're someone who's debated making content for the very first time, do it. People will have to apply when we have the more formal content creator program, but it's not going to be like only high, there's not going to be high requirements to my knowledge. I still have to dive in and see the full program plans and give my input as well. But yeah, Fateless, at Fateless, we are going to be managing our own content creator program. And sponsorships, there's going to be no curse of coverage, so to speak, which I really love and admire. There's something I'm just going to talk about more personal, and if you don't care about content creator stuff, you could stop watching the video, no shame. But I think it's really fun to share the insights from the inside of both working for Fateless and just being a content creator. But like me and Odd One, we're always cursed with, do we play a game or do we not play a game? Because we're full-time content creators. So the money matters too. Unfortunately and fortunately sometimes. We might love a game so much, but we just don't have time to play it. Or financially, it just doesn't make sense because all the time I spent doing that, I could be doing something that actually is my job, you know? Or I only have limited time. We have a baby girl. We need to use that time wisely. And one of the curses is if I cover a game that I like or looks cool that's coming out, oh, damn it, now they're not going to pay me for a sponsorship. I just lost my potential to get, you know, noticed for a sponsorship and get paid to cover the game instead. Not with Fateless. So that's one of the things that's Fateless. Like, Dan said it really well. Like, we want people to be able, or content creators, to be able to do what they did, to do what Simon did, to do what hellhades.com did. They want content creators to be able to make a full-time income and change their lives because of Godforge. And that's even going to include sponsorships, guys. Instead of paying people that have nothing to do with our game only to make an ad, we're going to pay our real content creators that love and care about the game just as much as we do. We want to enable people. And so that is just so amazing to know that we're going to be supporting people in ways that it won't feel like a curse to be involved early. It's going to feel like a privilege to be involved early. Imagine prioritizing using someone we know to make an ad campaign for us to put for advertisements on whatever, instead of only seeking out some super famous person who couldn't give two craps about the game. You know what I mean? Like, kidding, not kidding. Of course, there's going to be both. There's going to be obviously marketing to big, humongous audiences in different genres or whatever as well. But we're not going to forget the little guys and the people that have been here from the start. And that's amazing too. And I'm really excited for everything to come. And yes, the plan is to have the basis of the content creator program, the portal, all the fun stuff started for beta. And then, of course, the stuff like revenue share, content creator codes, all that stuff will obviously come when the revenue comes, like early access and beyond. But we do want to have the content creator program portal ready for beta. That is the hope. Not 100% guaranteed. It might be a little after or something, but they're definitely working on it. And I'm really excited to dive in myself and give my input and get this content creator program really ready to go and start getting people all set up. It is going to be so much fun. I can't wait. This is what I was waiting for when I got hired as community manager. I wanted to be able to focus on the content creators the most if possible. As the game grows, as the company grows, I want my specialty to be this content creator program and the content creators if possible. That's what I wanted from the beginning. So that's kind of inching toward that goal of mine and my hopes for my job and my role with the company too. But content creators or not, I love the community. It's so passionate and so fun. And I'm really lucky to have this opportunity. And I hope you guys know that any of us, me included, anyone associated, Ragewood, who works for HH Gaming, Odd1 Gaming, who's my husband, all of us who are associated or not, are always going to be so genuinely spoken or genuinely excited for this game because we would have been anyway. I would still be here making videos about Godforge coming soon if I was not a staff member. I'm gonna say the things that I genuinely feel, and I'm gonna be honest with my critique of things when I can be as well, right? Like, I'm not gonna love everything, and I will tell you guys that. But we're all here because we love and are excited for the game to come. We love the people behind it. I'm so lucky that Simon and Dan are my bosses, and Jam, I guess, as well. He's also, the three founders are my bosses pretty much, and they're incredible people. And I couldn't imagine everything going any different. And then home life with my baby girl is turning 2 years old on Monday, that I wouldn't have if it wasn't for Raid Shadow Legends. That I wouldn't have if I didn't make a Twitch account because my favorite content creator, Hell Hades, decided to become a Twitch streamer as well. And eventually I did too. And Odd1 was inspired by Hell Hades, Simon. All of us, everything leads back to Fateless, leads back to Raid Shadow Legends as much as we love it or hate it. And yeah, I'm very blessed to be part of this community, and I'm going to try to share my fun and excitement with you all as much as I can for the future. So if you're still watching this to the end, I'm guessing it's because you're one of those people too. So thank you for watching. I will be covering Godforge more in the future, just kind of slowly getting into things now. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And if you haven't already, be sure to go to godforge.gg or fateless.gg and sign up for early access and beta. You will get all of the notifications to your email and not miss any notices. There's also a pre-registration event to get some rewards to get that starter hero going early on. And on the website, there is a hero index so you can get to know the heroes of Godforge. And there will be some updates here soon, so stay tuned. The overall website is going to get a bit of an overhaul, so lots of exciting stuff to come. We'll see you in the next one.